Hi everyone, welcome back to Grandpa Mark's Hobbies, build update number 7 of our Lindberg's Red Demon kit. A bunch going on this week, so let's look at what we got down on the shop today. You can see it's a mess. Let me move this out of the way, we'll talk about that in a little bit. Everything here now has wires and all the LEDs are tested. Good segue into the LEDs. These are in the description. I get them on Amazon. That's how small they are. And I'll tell you what, these little buggers are bright. So they came with, if I can find it, a CR2032 battery and like a little clip tester thing. So all I have to do to test these, now I won't run, I can't use something this bulky in any of my builds, but it is nice to test after I've thoroughly beat the snot out of what I'm trying to hook up here. So I just put a blue one in there, take the red one. These are so thin, they're hard to hold. The red one just clips into there, flip the switch, and I got a turn signal. I can go on and off and make it flash. But speaking of making it flash, that's what this, and I'm going to update this too, it just hasn't gotten here yet. And this is for. This is an Arduino. It's a knockoff brand Arduino. This is the full size, and these are just like screw-on bolts or screw-on lugs for it. This just presses in. I'm not going to pull it off, but these pull off. They're extra. But what's nice is they have the screw blocks on them. So for testing things and working things out, this is really sharp. Again, this one is an Allegro Uno R3. And then these I found these on Amazon somewhere. God only knows where, because I haven't been able to find them again. And I really haven't looked either. But right now I got a 9-volt hookup to it and an infrared hookup to it. And what I'm going to do with that is, let me bring you to my computer. This is my kind of schematic and everything, and it is working now. This is from Wonky up here, and you can design your own. The software's right here. When I'm done, I will figure out a way to put the software in the description somehow. But I'll show you how this is going to work. Is when you start this out, you'll have to hit the power button, and that'll bring on the gauge lights, or the indicator just showing power. It's an orange indicator light on. Let me flip you back over here real quick to the desktop. On here, I'll have an indicator light. It'll be an orange light down below. And so you can see that light is on right here. And all that is the power. It says, okay, everything else can work. Just like when you turn your ignition key to the power setting, that's what that does. So with that, I can turn on my headlights, and you can see the tail lights, the gauge lights. This will be gauge lights, tail lights, and my headlights are going to come on. And as long as the headlights are on and the tail lights, well, as long as the headlights are on, I can put high beams on, which will also turn on the high beams and give me a blue indicator light on the dash. So I can do that. We can turn the high beams off. If they're on and I turn the headlights off, the high beams won't turn back on by themselves. They have to have the headlights on in order for the high beams on. And if I turn the headlights off and turn them back on, the high beams don't come back on either. So let's turn the headlights off for a second, and we have our left turn signal. Push it, it'll go 10 times and then stop. This is all right through the remote control. Right turn signal, same thing, 10 times it'll stop. I have a brake light, and what's neat about the brake light is, just like on any car, If the car's not on, the brake light will still work. Not only will the brake light work, but flashers will work with the power off. So far, I think I have everything covered with that. I just had to get everything from here turned into this. And I'm telling you, it sounds a whole lot easier than it was. It's just a lot of spaghetti. So we have our turn signal with 2 LEDs. I drilled a hole through the back of this light, and it comes into here where this mounts. There was already a hole there. So I just ran the wires through, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to feed them right here in the corner on each side and down behind the door panels, which are somewhere in here and all this mess. But I'll go behind the door panels, under the seat, through this crack here, into the bed, and into the Arduino that'll be back in here. So that's how that's going to go. Where'd they go? The dash. Also, now with the dashboard, we have 2 LEDs for the gauges, which will light up the gauges. Here's a picture of that. And then with the gauges lit, those 2 LEDs run out. Then I also have 4 LEDs, one for turn signal indicators, one for the lights, or the power, shows that the power's on, and one for the high beam indicator. So that's all this spaghetti, which is run through the back of this. And all I did here for the indicators is I drilled a hole straight through, put the indicator or the LED in it, and it made it just barely fit. I got that drill to where it was just the one drill that would barely fit, and I pulled the LED down through with the wire, got it to where it was touching, and then pushed it in with my thumb. And then I used clear Then I used the clear quick shine, and I put a drop on either side of it just to kind of help lock it in. And then just kind of twisted those wires up and ran them out here all the way across. I folded them over. You can see I used silver tape to kind of lock the wires in place. And then they'll run down, like I said, they'll run through this side of the car, underneath where the seat goes, and out through that crack and into the bed. So now there's that. So now we're up to, there's 6 wires here, or 6 LEDs here. So we're at 8 here, counting these 2. Our tail lights have 2 in each one. We have a running light, which will be behind the little blue dot. We have a turn signal that'll be below. You can see they're just kind of taped together, but that's all it really needs. So now we got 4 more there. This is adding up quick, isn't it? And then on the body, or on the chassis, our headlights, I know it'll be hard to look, but there's 2 LEDs in each one of these. One for the high beam and one for the low beam. Low beam will be the one straight out. The high beam will be the one high. And all it's going to do is just double the light. It's nothing real fancy. But what I did is I ran those lights in here, through this, down through the bottom where this thing was already supposed to be lit. And I ran that wire. I drilled a hole in the frame rail, and then I tucked that wire down in, and I ran it all the way back through the little hole behind the bracket and up here, and then this will end up going under that seat and into the frame. And you can see how close I was for those wires to make it all the way. I ended up having to solder them. But it is what it is. These are probably all going to get soldered to the board because I'm not going to use that big honkin' Uno board. I'm not going to use this. I'm going to end up using the small Nano, just like what I used in my Cruiser and in my squad car. So, deep breath. There's all that, which is working out real good. Our glass is in. That worked out real well. It literally just popped in. I will kind of put clamps on either side to tighten it up and hit it with some quick. Why don't I do it instead of talking about it? We'll do it right now because I've had people ask me, look at this, I got a knot and a half here already. But I've had people ask me how I do this. So let's do it. It only takes a half a second. And it's easy. This is really super easy. I even have, we'll use 2 of them because I want to hold it up. But what I'm going to do here is most of the time I'll glue corners with Mod Podge to hold everything in. But with these, I don't think that's necessary. I think I'll just grab here, hold that. That'll hold this in place tight. I'm going to come over here, do the same thing, grab there. Don't wiggle that because you might scratch your paint. So we'll take that, try not to pull all the wires, and we're just going to set this down just like that. That's got a little stub sticking out there for the windshield windshield wiper. So let's do that. I'm going to grab my Ooger Booger bottle, a 64 ounce. I've used probably 2 out of it since I got it. And, let's see here, my favorite brush, or one of my favorite brushes. This is a triple lot. That's too dang small. What we got here, this is a triple lot also, but it's a little bit bigger around this way, if you look. And it's got a better handle on it for me. Now let me grab my visor. And we're only going to do, do everything here. We're only going to do the top and bottom of this because I don't want to get that to where for some way if it oozes out on either side. Let's try to pull you in here and I'll get you situated, and I'm going to do my darndest to keep my fat head out of the way when we do this. Now all I'm going to do is take this and I'm going to dunk it into the quick shine and get a drop on it. Just like that. See how that drop pulls? See how the drop pulls on there? Let's tilt it back. Come down right in this corner and drop it in there. And then give it a push. And see how that ran in there? Ran right around that corner. We're going to stop there because I don't want that going any farther towards that. So we're going to come here and do a drop right there. Run in. Come up top. Tilt that back. Get the water there. Get the quick shine out of the way. We'll come up. Bring the quick shine in and see how that ran in there. And that is going to super glue this in place. Just like that. There it goes. And any extra that's sitting on there is going to dry crystal clear anyhow. There we go. And it stopped before it got here. I'm going to do one on this side. A little bit farther. There we go. See how that ran in there? And should we do one in right dead center here? I got a little gaposis here, so it may not take off. There it goes. We'll kind of help it along. I just kind of pushed it underneath there. And that's it. Let's wash off our brush real quick. This quick shine comes off the brush quick, fast, and in a hurry. Just make sure you wipe your brush dry. And I always pull it straight back, just like I do an airbrush needle. Straight back through the paper towel. And that's it. That's glued up, ready to rock and roll, ready to install. I got a few other things going on, but really not much. So this is going to be a short one, but it had to be done just so I could show everybody all the wiring and stuff that we did. So I guess with that, I'm going to have to let you go because I really don't want to drag this on, and I really want to kind of start from here. We're going to assemble. So that's why I wanted to bring you here before the assembly and all this stuff got hidden. So from here, I will let you go. Oh, I almost forgot. Remember, I painted this, and I did the panel liner to make that look like leather. Well, just like 9 times out of 10, I forgot to paint the bottom, so I had to pull this back out of there to paint the bottom, and that's why that's out, because I could have tucked all the wires up underneath. And then one of the big things that I got installed is the brake lever, and I quick shined the little mat right here underneath or around the brakes. So with that, I'm gonna let you go. Y'all have a great day and a better tomorrow. And thank you very much for watching.